Hello again. In order to play Kill the Virus, you have to go to the website directly below me. And once you get there, you should click on where it says File MultiGo 4.4.4 to begin the download of MultiGo. Once you've successfully got that downloaded, MultiGo will produce an icon on your desktop. Click on that icon and the board on which we play Kill the Virus will appear. Above the board there are two rows of symbols that are called toolbars. On the lower toolbar, the third one in from the left has two stones on it, a black stone and a white stone. Click on that. Once you do, you can place the cursor anywhere on the board and click and a black stone will appear. Click again and a white stone will appear. Again, the process is repeated, and this is actually how the game is played. Now I'm going to erase those moves and show you the rules of the games next. Basically, there's not that many rules and you should be able to learn them pretty easily. First, I will read you the rule and then I'll explain how it works. Rule number 1. Each and every stone of either color on the board must have an open adjacent point called a breathing space to be on the board. We call those breathing spaces, as I just said. The black stone at A19 has two breathing spaces, one at A18 and one at B19. If the white stones ever take both of those, that black stone would be taken from the board. The white stone at K19 has three breathing spaces, one at J19, one at K18, and one at L19. Should you ever take all those, you would take that stone off the board. Stones that touch along vertical lines or horizontal lines are connected. So the two stones at S and T19 are connected and they have three breathing spaces. One at R19, one at S18, and one at T18. The two vertical white stones at A14 and 15 are connected and have four breathing spaces. The three black stones touch each other, so they share breathing spaces. They have 7, and the cluster of 4 white stones has 8. So it shows you how many breathing spaces each group has. Now the two stones at F7 and E8 are not connected. Each has 4 of its own. They're all marked with the X. Let me show you how capture would work. First of all, you would take one of those points, and then with your next move you take the other point and that stone would be captured. Similarly, the white stone on this point, you take those 2 points and then you capture. Again, each time you take the 2 points and then you capture, and it would continue. Let's do one more here. Let's do the 3 stone group just to show you. It has 7 liberties, or 7 breathing spaces, and if you take those, you capture them. So that's basically rule 1, that a stone must have a breathing space to stay on the board, except for there is an exception, as you'll see in rule 2. Now in rule 1 we said every stone on the board had to have a breathing space to stay on the board. Well, it turns out you can actually play a stone to create breathing spaces by taking the last breathing space of another stone or group of stone. Each one of the diagrams in this puzzle has one breathing space left, and if you take it, then you create a breathing space for the stone. So for example, black can play at K19 because he took those stones, took their last breathing space, and has created 3 for himself. One at J19, one at K18, and one at L19. The one in the center, the same thing is true. The white stones have 1 breathing space, and if black takes that, he creates 4 breathing spaces for himself. In this corner, if black plays at T18, he creates 3 breathing spaces for himself. So that's the way a stone can create breathing spaces, by taking away the last breathing space of either another single stone or a group of stones. Now we've been talking about a single stone and groups of stones, so let me just explain what a group of stones is. Groups of stones are any stones that touch, again, along vertical or horizontal lines. So at the top there are three white groups. One has 3 breathing spaces, the next one has 5 breathing spaces, the next one has 3 breathing spaces, and so forth. These are what groups of stones look like. The white stones starting with C8 has 1 breathing space, and of course I think we've explained it a couple times now that if black takes that, they're eliminated and it's alive. I never get tired of killing the virus. Rule 4 shows how stones that don't touch are not connected. Basically, the stone at B19 has 3 breathing spaces, and it does not share those with the stone at A18. It has separate breathing spaces. And again, I'll show you in a couple of these how capture would work. In this case, if black plays at L19, it takes that stone, and the other stone, because it wasn't connected, it still stays on the board, and it has 2 of its own breathing spaces, one at M18 and one at L17. I'll do one more. The stone at R11 has had 3 of its breathing spaces taken. If you take the 4th one, it's gone, but the stone at S12 still has 2 breathing spaces, so it gets to stay on the board. Okay, so much for the tough stuff. Now for the easy stuff. Oh, that's our puzzle. Actually, we'll use this puzzle to show you how all puzzles begin. The virus is 4 stones at D15 and 16 and E15 and 16, and it has 2 breathing spaces, one at F16 and one at F15. It's black to play, so black takes away one of those breathing spaces. That's actually all there is to Rule 5, and the game has begun. Rule 6 says that, oh, now white gets a turn and it gets to take the other one. This time when white takes the other one at F16, the virus now has 2 breathing spaces, one at G16 and one at F17. Each time black plays, white runs away, gaining 2 breathing spaces. When the virus touches another stone, such as it's going to do here in a minute, it just touched the H19 stone along a vertical line, or in this case along a horizontal line, that stone becomes part of the virus. So this is how the game is played, and I'm going to show you the correct solution to this puzzle. Only in the other following puzzles, you'll have to figure out each time what the correct move is. If you want to stop it anywhere, you can say, well, where are the 2 liberties? Let's stop it in a second here. Let's stop it right here. Oh, the virus has 2 liberties, one at R6 and the other one at Q7. And again, I'm not going to stop this virus or this chase until it's over, so just sit back and relax and enjoy your first real big showing and demonstration of how capture works as the virus twists and turns and runs all over the board. It's now going up the left side, and the virus can go either direction. Finally, the virus has only 1 breathing space left. At E19, it's black's turn. Black takes it, and this would be in fact a win, a proper solution. Now, there's an arrow on the where the record of the puzzle is, and if you click on that, it will replay itself. Now, black could have started with the other one, could have started with the F16 breathing space and taken that one, and then white would have ran away again, having 2 breathing spaces, again G15, F14. So you keep trying to chase it, and in this case you chase it right into the waiting arms of this big group, and as you can see, that group has a lot of breathing spaces, and you're not going to be able to connect it in one move. So here, this is just to show you how even the first move can change the direction of the puzzle, and you can end up losing pretty easily. So I've got one, let's see, that was rule 6 and 7. Sometimes the virus will connect to other groups or even turn in on itself, so it ends up with having two separate internal breathing spaces. The virus in the upper left hand corner has an open breathing space at A19 and one at A17. Black cannot play at both of these points in one move, so that virus is alive. In fact, all the viruses in this diagram are alive, and the virus will take life as quickly as it can, and so I just thought I'd show you some of the forms. So that's what Rule 8 explains. Well, we've been through all the tough rules 1 through 8. Now the hardest rule of all, Rule 9, and I'll read it out loud. Yes, I am working off a cheat sheet. Rule 9. The killer of the virus must have fun, or as we say in the trade, enjoy. There's going to be one more video in which I show you the puzzles, show you some of the countries, and give you a few more details before you can start to kill the virus. See you in a few minutes.